Remember the spring of 1977 when the Bradford family walked into our living rooms and instantly felt like Neighbors 8 is Enough was our weekly sanctuary of laughter? But behind that joyful, chaotic home lay real-world heartbreaks that time can never erase. Today we look past the laugh tracks to honor the beloved stars we've lost, revealing the private battles and sudden tragedies that changed the cast forever. Join us as we remember the quiet heroes who made us feel like family. The quiet heroism of Tom Bradford. For anyone who grew up in the late 70s, Tom Bradford wasn't just a television character, he felt like the dad next door. As the anchor of 8 is Enough, Dick Van Patten gave us a patriarch who made a chaotic household feel like a sanctuary. He didn't rule with slick perfection. Instead, he managed the beautiful madness with a weary smile, a coffee mug in hand, and an endless supply of patience. When the series premiered in 1977, the 48-year-old actor brought a lifetime of showbiz wisdom to the role. A former Broadway child star, Van Patten understood that the best television dads aren't the ones with all the answers, but the ones who simply keep showing up. Tom Bradford was often exhausted, perpetually outnumbered, and deeply relatable. He survived parenthood through stubborn love and humor, reminding us that family is meant to be lived, not controlled. When we lost Van Patten on June 23, 2015 at age 86, due to diabetes complications, it felt like losing a piece of our own youth. Yet his legacy extends far beyond the Bradford home. Whether he was popping up on The Love Boat, making us laugh in Mel Brooks' Spaceballs, or championing animal welfare through his Natural Balance pet food brand, Dick radiated genuine kindness. Tom Bradford endures because Dick Van Patten showed us the ultimate truth. Fatherhood is messy, tiring, and fiercely beautiful. He made being a dad look quietly heroic. The irreplaceable heart of Joan Bradford. For those who tuned into ABC in the spring of 1977, Joan Bradford was the gentle anchor of a chaotic household. Diana Hyland, born January 25, 1936, was 41 when 8 is Enough premiered. She infused Joan with a calm maternal intelligence that instantly grounded the family's beautiful madness. Joan wasn't loud. Instead, she possessed an intuitive grace, reading the emotional temperature of the crowded Bradford home and offering a quiet balance to Tom's overwhelmed energy. She made a frantic world feel safe. Tragically, real life intervened far too soon. On March 27, 1977, after filming just 4 episodes, Hyland passed away from breast cancer at age 41. Her sudden absence forced the show to pivot, transforming a lighthearted family drama into a poignant exploration of real-world grief. Off-screen, her passing broke the heart of Hollywood. Hyland was in a deeply devoted relationship with John Travolta, then at the meteoric height of his Saturday Night Fever fame. Months later, a grieving Travolta accepted her posthumous Emmy Award for her brilliant performance in The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. Though her time in this Bradford living room was brief, her impact was permanent. Joan Bradford endures because Diana Hyland made maternal tenderness feel irreplaceable, precious, and heartbreakingly real. She remains a beloved, bittersweet memory of a golden era in television. The reluctant anchor, Mary Bradford. For viewers who loved 8 is Enough, Mary Bradford was the daughter who carried responsibility like a habit. Lonnie O'Grady, born October 2, 1954, was 22 when the series premiered in 1977. She gave Mary a grounded seriousness that made the Bradford household feel emotionally real. Often acting as the adult among her siblings, Mary was bright, romantic, and deeply conflicted, caught between the yearning for independence and the fierce pull of family duty. Tragically, O'Grady passed away on September 25, 2001, at just 46. Knowing her journey gives Mary's on-screen anxiety a heartbreakingly poignant meaning today. While she continued acting in guest roles and later transitioned into working as a successful Hollywood talent agent, her life was overshadowed by severe private battles with agoraphobia and substance abuse struggles that resonated deeply with fans once they came to light. Classic television was truly in her blood. Her brother Don Grady famously played Robbie Douglas on My Three Sons, weaving Lonnie into the very fabric of America's golden era of family sitcoms. Mary Bradford endures because Lonnie O'Grady didn't play a perfect older sister. Instead, she made the burdens of youth and responsibility feel heavy, tender, and fiercely familiar to millions of American households. The steady presence of Father Robert. Every large family has a moment when the shouting needs to stop, and for the Bradfords, Father Robert was the calm voice of reason. Don Matheson, born August 5, 1929, was in his late 40s when he joined Eight is Enough. He infused the parish priest with a quiet authority that never pushed, but instead listened until the room finally calmed down. His role was vital. A household that chaotic couldn't survive on humor alone. When grief, romance, or moral confusion struck, Father Robert offered steady perspective. Matheson made that reassurance believable because his screen presence already felt rock solid to American viewers. When he passed away on June 29, 2014, at age 84, he left behind a rich television legacy. Sci-fi fans instantly recognized him as the hot-headed businessman Mark Wilson from Irwin Allen's cult classic, Land of the Giants. He also brought his commanding charm to daytime dramas like General Hospital and Falcon Crest, and was once married to his co-star sci-fi icon, Deanna Lund. He was never the flashiest performer in the Bradford world, but that was exactly the point. Father Robert endures in our collective memory because Don Matheson made spiritual and moral guidance feel patient, grounded, and human enough to trust. The relatable authority, Principal Dorsey. Every teenager needs a foil, and for the Bradford kids, Principal Dorsey was the firm reminder that the rules of the real world don't stop at the front door. Michael Tama, born December 4, 1926, was in his 50s when he took on the role. He gave Dorsey a grounded, believable edge that kept him from becoming a cartoonish TV principal. In the Eight is Enough universe, school represented society pressing in, bringing discipline, expectations, and public consequences for private mistakes. Dorsey mattered because he made those societal pressures tangible. He wasn't just there to hand out detentions. He represented the adult systems young people must navigate before finding their own footing. Tragically, Toma passed away from cancer on September 3, 1982, at just 55, cutting short a brilliant career built on dependable character work. Audiences deeply respected his versatility. Around the same time, he was winning hearts as the compassionate drama teacher Crandall in the hit series Fame, and he frequently graced classic stage productions as a proud alumnus of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Principal Dorsey endures in our collective memory because Michael Tama didn't play a villain in a suit. Instead, he made school authority feel strict, beautifully weary, and far more human than the Bradford kids ever wanted to admit. The bright defiance of Elizabeth Bradford. In a household bursting with loud personalities, Elizabeth Bradford was the younger daughter who fiercely refused to fade into the background. Connie Needham, born December 5, 1959, was just 17 when Eight is Enough premiered in 1977. She perfectly captured the sharp, restless energy of a teenager desperately wanting to be seen as an adult. Elizabeth was vital to the show because she embodied that fragile age where confidence and vulnerability constantly clash, pushing boundaries only to realize that independence comes with real-world consequences. Today, at 66, Needham's post-sitcom life reflects a grace that moved far beyond the Hollywood spotlight. While she made memorable guest appearances on classic hits like Fame and Police Squad, she ultimately found her true calling away from the cameras. As a gifted dance instructor, she spent decades sharing her passion with young students in Southern California, channeling the same vibrant energy she brought to the Bradford living room. Her resilience became even more profoundly admired by millions of longtime fans after her courageous public battle with ovarian cancer in 2009, a chapter she faced with immense bravery and openness. Elizabeth Bradford endures in our collective memory because Connie Needham never played teenage rebellion as a cliché. Instead, she made that adolescent struggle feel warm, slightly frightened, and beautifully human. The reckless charm of Tommy Bradford. For millions of prime-time viewers, Tommy Bradford was the epitome of late 70s teenage restlessness, armed with a guitar, a feathered haircut, and a grin that could get him out of almost anything. Willie Ames, born July 15, 1960, was just 16 when 8 Is Enough premiered in 1977. He brilliantly infused Tommy with the raw energy of a kid desperate to grow up long before understanding what adulthood actually costs. Tommy's chaotic storylines resonated because they were about pure impulse chasing excitement and discovering that family is the safety net you only appreciate after you fall. Today, at 66, Ames's journey beyond the Bradford household remains one of Hollywood's most dramatic and inspiring public arcs. He cemented his heartthrob status alongside Scott Baio on the hit sitcom Charles in Charge, and later pivoted to become a faith-based pop culture icon as the superhero Bible Man. Yet it was his harrowing real-life battles with severe substance abuse, bankruptcy, and homelessness, followed by a deeply public spiritual rebuild and a successful new career as a cruise ship director that truly endeared him to fans. His actual life mirrored the very lessons Tommy Bradford had to learn. Tommy endures in our collective memory because Willie Ames never played teenage rebellion with a polished Hollywood gloss. Instead, he made growing up feel reckless, deeply wounded, and ultimately capable of turning back toward hope. The polished power of Senator Ned Atkins. When Senator Ned Atkins entered the Bradford world, he brought a wave of polished old-school Washington power with him. He was the kind of man who proved authority could wear a charming smile while quietly controlling the room. Dennis Patrick, born March 14, 1918, was 59 when he appeared on 8 Is Enough. He infused the senator with a sophisticated silver-tongued gravity that instantly elevated the stakes of the show, reminding us that the Bradford kids were growing up into a world governed by influence, reputation, and backroom deals. Patrick made that political maneuvering believable because he was already one of television's most trusted, steady character actors. When he passed away at age 84 on October 31, 2002, he left behind a legendary resume. Boomers and classic TV lovers knew him best as the treacherous Jason Maguire on the gothic daytime phenomenon Dark Shadows, and later as the corrupt banker Vaughn Leland, who famously crossed paths with J.R. Ewing on Dallas. Whether he was navigating primetime soap operas, classic westerns, or the chaotic Bradford living room, Patrick specialized in characters who carried a hint of mystery or danger beneath a civilized veneer. Senator Atkins endures because Dennis Patrick didn't play a one-dimensional cartoon politician. Instead, he made political power feel impeccably tailored, smooth, and quietly intimidating. Nancy Bradford, the quiet anchor of the family. In the bustling world of 8 Is Enough, Nancy Bradford always stood out as the bridge between childhood chaos and adult responsibility. Portrayed by the lovely Diane Kay, born March 29, 1954, Nancy brought a practical warmth to the screen that was grounding without ever being dull. She was the emotional anchor of the Bradford household. Whether she was being gentle, direct, frustrated, or fiercely protective, Nancy seamlessly moved between guiding her younger siblings and speaking hard truths to the adults. As of 2026, Diane Kay is 72 years old, and her life after the series became much quieter than the immense fame of 8 Is Enough might have suggested. While she made notable appearances in projects like Steven Spielberg's comedy 1941, and took on various television guest roles, she eventually chose to step back from the constant glare of Hollywood. That choice gives her then and now story a refreshing, grounded honesty. In an industry obsessed with headlines, Kay proved that an actor doesn't need a scandal or a dramatic comeback to have a meaningful life. Nancy Bradford endures in the hearts of classic TV fans because Diane Kay made steadfastness look beautiful, kind, and quietly essential. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.